Can I get your name and badge number?
Yeah, Cynthia Atkins, badge number 5.
Okay, and are you a supervisor with the GBI?
I am.
Okay, what was your title?
Inspector.
Inspector. Thank you, Inspector. So, I was filming at the Rome Law Enforcement Center in Rome, Georgia.
Law Enforcement Center.
It's a law enforcement center. That's what it's called, the Law Enforcement Center in Rome.
Like the police department or the sheriff's
office? It's the police department, I believe, but I believe it's also like for the county. Some law enforcement center. That's what it says. I'm not familiar. I was just taking some pictures and video over there, and I believe the GBI. There was in some type of meeting at this specific location, and I was taking some pictures and video in the parking garage and outside of the building and publicly accessible areas. And 3 GBI agents came up to me and said, "What are you doing?" Started questioning me. I told them I'm an independent journalist, just taking some pictures and video, nothing crazy. And I said, "Can I get the same way I asked you? Can I get your name and badge number, sir?" They flipped their badge around, the one you have hanging from your chest right there. They flipped it around so I couldn't see it, and refused to identify themselves to me. They said, "I'm not identifying myself to you. Please, can I get your name and badge number so I know who I'm talking to?" They wouldn't identify themselves. A GBI agent told me, "Give me your ID right now because you're being suspicious." I said, "Sir, in the state of Georgia, in order to identify somebody, you need reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime is being committed. So what crime do you suspect me of committing?" And he said, and I quote, "Because I signed my driver's license, because I have a signed driver's license, that gives law enforcement the right to demand ID from anybody who is, from anybody, just because you sign your driver's license." I said, "Sir, that's really scary information because that's just not, that's
the sun in my face. Sorry.
It's okay. That's not accurate, And if you're telling that to citizens, there was 3 of them, 3 GBI agents. 2 of them never identified themselves to me. I believe somebody told them to just go away and they left. One of them did, the one that said that anybody who signs their driver's license has to give it to a law enforcement at any time, or they could be subject to arrest.
Right.
I said, "That's bad information, sir, and if you're peddling that to the public, somebody who doesn't know their rights, that can be dangerous because you would be violating their 4th Amendment right of seizing their identity." And he said, "My name's Agent Jones, badge number 148. So I wanted to just submit a complaint. Maybe we can get some further education at the GBI on, properly identifying somebody that is not engaged in any criminal activity. In fact, I was engaged in a constitutionally protected activity at the time."
Okay, what was the date of it? I didn't bring.
Yesterday.
I didn't know that was what you were doing, so I don't have any paper with me. So
yesterday.
Normally, I would write this stuff down.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, if you have an email, I can email you the video. There was just very unprofessional, and
that's fine.
They escalated the situation. Again, I'm sure at the GBI you have a policy of identifying yourself to members of the public when asked. And again, they all refuse, because how do I hold them accountable? Now now instead of, that's the whole point of identifying yourself to the public, because if they would have done something, illegal towards me or, violated my rights, I have no way of knowing who they are. And by them turning their badge around and not refusing to identify themselves, I don't even know if Agent Jones that's his real name or not. That's what he told me. He said badge number 148. The other 2 would not identify themselves. It's all on video. And again, I think that's very dangerous information that one of your agents is peddling to the public, saying just because you sign your driver's license, you're signing away your 4th Amendment right to have your identity seized just when you're engaged in a lawful activity. I've read the Georgia, stop and ID statute. If you have reasonable suspicion that I'm engaging in a crime, yeah, you can identify. You can identify me.
Identification, correct?
Exactly, and if I don't, I'll be charged with failure to identify. But he said you're just suspicious, and I'm like, well, being suspicious is very subjective, sir. But again, I think it's very dangerous that a law enforcement officer, especially one with the GBI, would think that just signing an ID is something that grants him a right to identify anybody, because he could be using that in any situation where people aren't, very well aware of their rights or anything like that, and that could be a problem. And again, his name was Agent Jones, and he said his badge number was 148. Well, and this occurred yesterday at around 5 o'clock.
Okay, so we can do 2 things. I can give you just my email address, and you can send me the video. And if you'll put in the agent's name and the badge number, then I can look into the complaint.
Okay.
Or if you would like to stop the recording, we can go inside and I can write it down.
Yeah.
It's whichever one you would like to do, whatever's easiest for you.
I'd rather, I'm not going to, I didn't know that you can't film in there. I mean, it's a publicly accessible area. I didn't know, but, you know, I don't think that the lobby.
Well, it's publicly accessible because we allow people to come in instead of using the intercom and having to explain why you're here, but it's actually by appointment only.
Okay.
So you can come in, but
yeah, no, the reason is
we could lock the doors and make everyone do the intercom, but it's easier for us to let people into the lobby, but we don't allow recording inside of our lobby.
Okay. And the reason, I don't see why that would be, but again, it's okay. I'm not here for that. I'm here to just lodge a complaint against 3 of these agents, and again, I don't know their I don't know who the other 2 didn't identify themselves to me, so I have no idea who they are. But maybe, you know, when I send you the video, I'm not going to turn.
I'd be able to identify from the video.
I'm not going to go inside and you know, turn off my camera just for not personal against you. It's just, you know, transparency and accountability. I'm not going to do that. So if that's not possible, and you're not going to allow me to do that, then I would prefer to get your email, and I'll email you a summary of what happened.
Absolutely.
And I'll email you a copy of the video as well.
That'd be perfect. Do you want to write it down, or you want me just to say it?
I mean, you could just say it, or you could write it down, or give me a card,
I don't have anything on me. I didn't come prepared for standing out here and doing that. So
okay, that's fine. I mean, you could just tell me then.
Okay, so my first name is Cynthia, Cynthia. My last name is Adkins, Adkins.
Okay.
So my email address is going to be cynthia.adkins@gbi.ga.gov.
Got it.
Okay, so it's my first and last name with a dot
and
in the middle.
then at gbi.ga.gov.
gbi.ga.gov. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Inspector.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And then if you need to contact me, it's 404-270-8805. It feels weird just to say that.
I
write it down.
I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, so, I would have welcomed you to, you know, give me a card or something, but you don't have it. Obviously,
I didn't come prepared with that.
Yeah.
No.
And
they just said somebody in the lobby needs somebody, so I just came out.
Oh, okay. And do you what division do you work for?
Investigative division.
Investigative division. Is there like a professional standards or an internal affairs division here?
We do have internal affairs.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And you would forward that to them?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure I was talking to the right person, or you know, it's going to go to the right place.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, is it something that, you know, did they, you know, put hands on me or do anything like that? No, they didn't do any of that.
Right.
Again, but I think it's very dangerous, you know, the incorrect information that a law enforcement officer would put out there, and just the form that they the manner that they treated me was, you know, unbecoming of a law enforcement officer. Supposed to be professional peacekeepers,
right?
And you know, they weren't trying to keep any peace, and again, they wouldn't identify themselves. To your knowledge, when a member of the public asks a G.B.I. agent to identify themselves, is it department policy to identify yourself to the public?
I mean, it's not department policy, but there should never be a reason for us not to give that information.
Okay.
I mean, they're not, obviously, if they were in some kind of a uniform, they're not in undercover capacity. So I'm not saying it's written down in a policy, but
okay,
there's nothing that I do on a daily basis that if somebody asks me for my name and my badge number, I have no reason to.
Exactly, but it's all public information anyway. So my last question to you before I let you go is, if I wanted to do an open records request, like say for your policies and procedures here at the G.B.I., how would I go about doing that?
You actually send it to an email address for our open records, and so when I get your email, I can actually I can reply back with that email address.
Okay.
I don't know it off the top of my head.
It's okay.
I want to say it's like openrecords@gbi.ga.gov, but don't hold me to that. I don't email it all the time, so
all right.
I'm not sure.
I appreciate your time here, Inspector.
But I can give it to you, though.
Thank you. I'll send you that email later today.
All right, what was your name again?
My name is Sean.
Sean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
It was nice to meet you.
Thank you, Inspector.
Have a good day.
Have a good day, sir.
Make sure you get my good side, okay?
I know, I'm squinting.
I hope you don't have a bad side.
Let me